Hi, I'm Dr. Low Chai Ling, and together with my team at SW1, I'm here to change the world one face at a time. Welcome to SW1's podcast channel, where we cover topics from beauty to skin health. We will give you the lowdown on how to look and feel your best, so tune in to us every Tuesday and Fridays. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Low Chai Ling, and I'm back on this podcast to answer questions on my own beauty routine. With me here, I have Josh, who's going to ask me questions regarding my lifestyle and my beauty routine.
Hi, Dr. Low.
Hi, Josh.
Nice to talk to you again. So basically, I just want to ask some questions in regards to your beauty and lifestyle practices that you have, since you're an advocate for beauty as well. So, some simple questions. Can you tell me how you actually start your day and what time do you wake up?
I wake up very early. I think this is a habit from when my kids were younger and they had to go to school very early. I remember, I think my daughter's school bus would come something like 5:30. I mean, now they're older, but I still wake up at 5:30 every day. It's a bit scary, but I do that. I think mornings are very important for me. It's the only time that I can have some peace and quiet. So I wake up early, I do some exercise, and definitely a cup of coffee is a must.
Okay, so now that your children are all grown up, what actually motivates you to actually wake up really early, other than having that meditation process that you just mentioned?
I think I have a good bunch of friends that I meet up for exercise regularly. That kind of motivates me. We have the same interests, so we meet a couple of times a week, and that is kind of nice to connect with friends early in the morning.
Okay, so next question. Can you please elaborate about your skincare routine? I know you actually say that you have a different skincare routine in the morning as well as at night.
That's true. I'm a big advocate that you shouldn't be using the same products in the morning and night. My skincare routine has changed greatly over the years, mainly because my skin problems has also changed. You may not believe it, Josh, but I used to battle with acne a lot. That was one of the big problems I had. And from my own personal experience, I can tell you if you have acne and you're using the same products in the morning and the same products at night, you're going to find that you're not going to have as much improvement as if you do a combination therapy. So when I was afflicted with acne after the pregnancy, after the delivery of my children, I would combine perhaps ingredient that contains vitamin A at night that can help skin renewal, that's also good for acne, and then I would do something like a vitamin B and mild fruit acids in the morning. So that would be my go-to. Right now, my main concern is skin whitening. As you get older, I think one of the main problems Asian women face is melasma. Now, melasma is a very stubborn pigmentation, so sunscreen is a must. So I start my morning routine right now pretty simply, mainly because I'm always rushing for work. I would have a cleanser. My advice to all the listeners out there is if you're choosing a cleanser, to choose the most gentle cleanser that your skin can take. The reason why is because our thinking has changed. Previously, it's all about cleansers that really gave you the squeaky clean feeling. But that squeaky clean feeling also means that you're stripping your skin of its natural lipids. So using a gentle cleanser is actually more protective for your skin because it leaves your skin barrier intact. So after a gentle cleanser, I like the warm vanilla that is available at my clinic. It's non-foaming, so it doesn't have SLS. I would usually spray my skin with Replenish. It's a toner that rebalances your skin and then reforms your natural lipid barrier. After that, I would use something very simple. Right now, I'm using pink sake. It's a simple moisturizer. It has multivitamins and glutathione. Then lastly, umbrella. So umbrella is my go-to sunscreen because it's a physical sunscreen. I'm a big lover of physical sunscreen rather than chemical blockers. The difference is that a physical sunscreen would physically block the sun's rays. But a chemical blocker would use chemical interactions in your skin to give you the UV defense. I tend to have a little bit of eye irritation when I use chemical sunscreen, and sometimes when my skin's a little sensitive, it looks a little blotchy. So I like the physical sunscreen that babies use and that I also give to my patients post laser because they tend to cause less sensitivity. Now, night is the time where I would actually spend more time on my skin. I'm not a believer in using too many skincare products, like 6 to 7, unless you have the time. Because I find if you're slapping on one product after the other, then you're really just diluting some of the active ingredients of your first few products. So again, a simple cleanser, a very gentle one, and a toner. At night, I would go for something like a rose ginseng, only because that one has a power pack with antioxidants. Then I would use more of the retinoids at night so that my skin's not so photosensitive. H-Defy is something that I use. I sometimes also switch around and use vitamin C, which is citrin. That is something that I do, when I come home and wash my face. But before I sleep, which may be a few hours after the initial skincare routine, I would apply sleep mode. And that is a controlled release glycolic. And I think it really helps renew your skin. So right now, that's what I'm using, but it may change, there is this great new product on the market that I've been dying to try. It's called Super White, and it contains cysteamine, which is also found in human milk. It's something that you apply on your skin, leave it on for 10-15 minutes, wash it off. You do that daily, and in about 4 to 6 weeks, you notice your pigmentation lightening up, as well as your complexion looking a shade fairer. So I've seen very good results in my patients, and that could be something I will incorporate in my routine starting next month.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of products. But if I were to say you can only choose one product that you cannot live without, what would it be?
It would have to be sunscreen. I know it sounds very cliche, but the truth is that if you are not blocking your skin from the harmful UV rays, then it really doesn't matter how much products you're applying, it would always be playing catch up. Don't forget, we are living very near the equator. So we are exposed to a tremendous amount of UV every day. Even with sunscreen, I find my patients who are not judicious about applying adequate sunscreen, which is you really need about a tablespoon for your face, and reapplying throughout the day, you will still get some amount of sun damage. So I think if there's one go-to product that I have to have, it would have to be my trusty sunscreen umbrella. But I always say, Josh, it's hard to limit yourselves to just one. So,
Exactly.
If I could choose 2 or 3, I definitely would throw in some vitamins and antioxidants.
Okay, so the next question is, how do you feel a woman should actually feel about aging?
I think a woman should feel confident about aging. There are so many aesthetic breakthroughs nowadays. Glass ceilings are being smashed all the time. With all these new breakthroughs, as long as you are able to embrace them, you can age in a confident manner. Also, nowadays it's all about body positivity. Even if you don't want to change anything about the way you look, I think we are all really just as old as we feel. So, embracing life, living life to the fullest, all these are youthful outlooks as well.
Would you call yourself a feminist?
I have a daughter, so I am sort of a feminist. It's amazing how having a daughter will make you a bit more of a feminist. But I will say I still like, the sort of traditionally gentlemanly gestures that maybe some feminists may excuse. So, I'm kind of on the fence. I like people holding the door open for me. So, am I a feminist? I don't know.
Okay, next question. To what extreme will you go to in regards to advocating beauty?
I'm really not very pushy with my patients. So a lot of my patients may tell you that when they come to see me, it can be as minimal as just getting a set of skincare. And for others, it may be a little bit more. It may be lasers, and then for others, it may be all the way to surgery. I think all of us have different goals and different aims. And I will help my patients fulfill it, but I never really push them to do something that they don't want to do. You know, beauty is very unique, and that's why they always say it's in the eye of the beholder. So we need to take all these considerations so that we must understand what our patient's idea of beauty is and not really impose our ideas. But sometimes, of course, when patients ask me what they can do to look more attractive, yes, I will give them my advice. Whether they take it or not, really it's up to them.
Okay. What is one thing that draws the line between you and beauty?
I think if a treatment is untested, unproven, then that's something I draw the line with. I mean, several years ago, one big treatment I remember that hit the market was IV vitamin C and IV glutathione, where women were injecting it into the bloodstream to get instant whitening. Now, the results were there, but it was untested in the sense that there were no studies that were looking at what were the long-term effects of these injections into the body. For example, your kidneys, which has to excrete this large amount of vitamins out. But women were just doing it all the time, and then there were cases of course, infection and kidney damage. This treatment, of course, is banned in Singapore now. But this is an example of a treatment which I think may have more harmful effects than benefits. So if a treatment is unproven and untested, even if it initially gives very good results, I would be very hesitant to try on myself or my patients, because for me, safety is key.
Lastly, what is one thing you know for sure about beauty?
Well, one thing I know for sure about beauty is that it's in the eye of the beholder. And that I actually did a survey amongst my patients once to find out what was it about an attractive face that makes it attractive. So I actually gave them a series of beauties and they had to pick which one they thought was most attractive. And I think it was a study that I did a few years ago. And the interesting thing was that there wasn't actually one feature that defined beauty. So, we may think that Angelina Jolie has beautiful lips, but those lips may not look so good when paired with an Asian face. It was actually the whole composition. And everybody had their own favorites. So there was no one look that would be considered beautiful all over the world. In fact, the standards of beauty are so varying all over the world, and the standards of beauty has also changed over time. So I really think it's just in the eye of the beholder. But I do know one thing: if you have the confidence and you carry yourself well, then you will always look more attractive.
Thank you for your time, Dr. Low.
Thank you, everyone. And so that's the end of my podcast. If you have any questions, do write in to us at podcast@SW1clinic.com. You've been listening to SW1's podcast channel. Write in to us if you have any topics you want us to cover by emailing help@SW1clinic.com.